So I'm Jackson Frew. I'm 18. I'm from Canberra in Australia. This year was my first year racing as a part of GT Factory Racing. Second year in junior, or last year in junior. Wasn't an ideal year for me. There's a lot of things went wrong and a lot of things to learn from. Okay, ready for the race start? Yep. Started out in Lords and I had a massive crash in my last practice run and knocked myself around and knocked my confidence off on the track, and then ended up 5th there. Pretty good, but not happy. Went to Sea Otter after that and got sick, and then went to Cairns and just never felt myself. I crashed 4 times in 4 different runs and broke a few ribs and just generally didn't feel it. Ended up 4th, again good, but super frustrating again. Then took some time and sort of reset myself for the rest of the season. Just before Fort William, I went out to Spain with the guys from GT and hung out at an event there and just sort of rode, chilled out, hung out with them, met some new people, and that was pretty good fun. And then went to Fort William and felt awesome, you know. I never felt better on a track, and the bike felt awesome, and I finished 3rd. I was so excited to get back on the podium. It was so good, but I was still just frustrated with my run, and I knew I had more in it and not really the ideal way to feel. So moved on to Leo Gang and crashed like 3 times in my quali run and didn't qualify. I just moved on from there. And Lenzerheide was a bit the same, just wasn't feeling it. I was over feeling frustrated by this point, and yeah, just wasn't happy. Like, felt good on the bike and everything, but wasn't going fast, and yeah, I think 6th. Just super frustrated. After that, went home, took stock of things and made some big changes in my preparation. Before I moved on to Mont Saint Anne, I went to Whistler for a week, just rode. I was still training and still doing everything that I needed to do, and yeah, I just cruised. I just did heaps of runs, heaps of just cruising, and wasn't really worried about things, and went to Mont Saint Anne, and I've never ever felt better at a race. My splits were awesome, and as I went down the track, I was just getting better and better and better. And then I crashed. Another frustrating result. Another race to move on from. From there, went to Whistler, raced the EWS, first EWS, and ended up 4th there, which really surprised me. I was really stoked about it. I think I might do a few more of them. They were a lot of fun. And then raced Canadian Open and had a bit of mechanical in there, but nothing major. It was just Canadian Open. After Whistler, stayed on for a little bit, and then went on to Andorra for World Cup Finals. An awesome track. I had so much fun there. I felt awesome on the bike, awesome on the track, having a good time really, hanging out with the boys and just being there. And then my race run was going really well. I think nearly top 20, I think, in elite at the first split, 2nd in juniors. And as it went down, I was pulling more time, and then got to the end of the 2nd split, and yeah, had a bit of a mechanical problem, and then sort of kept going, managed to push on a little bit, dropped back I think to 5th in juniors, and then once I hit the steep bit, just had no control. Hit one of the holes and went over the bars, landed in a big pile of bull dust and goggles filled up, and day done. End of a frustrating season with a frustrating result. Wanted to really turn it around good in Val d'Isole and went there with high hopes. Gnarliest track I've ever ridden. Felt good on the track, made a few changes to the bike. It just got so blown out that it was probably unrideable realistically. Felt really good first day of practice, second day of practice, and I struggled a little bit in places, and then sort of got it together a bit. There was nothing to be gained at all by going fast in quali, so I sort of had a pretty cruisy run and just made sure to get down, not hurt myself, just put time down. And I think ended up like 9th or 10th or something there, which is all it needed to be. I think I talked myself up a little bit too much in my head, got too excited about it, too anxious, a little bit nervous, which is unusual for me. And I think I put so much pressure on myself to do well, being my last race in juniors, and I knew I could do well. I just sort of started making silly mistakes straight out of the gate. I got frustrated with myself in my head as I was going down the track. Never really got going, and I was way out the back somewhere. Just sort of didn't really know what to say. Just sort of ended the season on one of those ones where you just want to go home and don't want to think about it again. It's been one of the most challenging years for me in every way, really. I mean, I never really got the chance to prove myself. I never put a run down where I got to the bottom and thought, yeah, right, that was good. And it's definitely not the way you want to be racing. So moving on now and putting a lot of time into the little things now, and training harder than I ever have, and relaxing a lot more than I ever have in training as well. Racing the car and working on the car, and not being as straight up and not just everything is bikes, because I think I put a lot of pressure on myself because of that. So making changes, and I think it's going to be for the better, and I got high hopes and I've set my goals pretty high for elite next year. I think I'm capable of doing top 20s, and I really want to do that, and obviously I want to win. I mean, that's what I'm here for and that's what I'm racing for. Realistically, it's going to take some time, and I understand that, and I just want to put consistent runs in and do the times I'm capable of, and I think if I do that, it's going to be a good year. So we'll just see what happens from now.